Imagine waking up every single morning with crystal clear focus, unstoppable motivation, and a fire in your chest to chase your dreams. You roll out of bed excited for the day, confident in who you are, and ready to make moves that bring you closer to the life you truly want. Now imagine the opposite. You wake up drained, foggy, restless. You pick up your phone, scroll, and feel the weight of shame from habits you can't control. Deep down, you know something is holding you back, but you can't quite put your finger on it. That difference, the gap between a life of purpose and a life of quiet frustration, often comes down to something hidden. Something most people don't talk about openly. Pornography. I know what it feels like to be caught in that loop. Many of us have been there. You might think, it's harmless, everyone does it. But what if it's not so harmless? What if it's quietly stealing your focus, draining your confidence, and reshaping your future without you even realizing it? Today, we're going to uncover the hidden ways porn damages your mindset, why it keeps you stuck, and most importantly, how you can break free and reclaim your power. And if you're serious about becoming your strongest, most focused self, then you're in the right place. Consider subscribing so you never miss these mindset-shifting lessons. This might just be the turning point you've been waiting for. Why this topic matters. Porn has become so normalized in today's world that most people don't even question its impact. With smartphones in every pocket, it's available 24/7, just a click away. What used to be something hidden or difficult to access is now instant, private, and unlimited. And because of that, people grow up believing it's just part of life. Statistics reveal that the majority of young men, and a growing number of women, are exposed to pornography before they even turn 18. For many, that early exposure shapes how they view relationships, confidence, and even themselves. This isn't about judging morality. It's about mental health, energy, and ambition. Maybe you've told yourself, it's just a stress reliever. I'll quit one day when I'm ready. But here's the truth. Days turn into months, and months turn into years. And while you tell yourself it's harmless, something subtle is happening beneath the surface. Your motivation fades, your focus weakens, and your self-belief begins to erode. I once spoke with a young man who was incredibly smart, talented, and full of potential. But he described feeling like his goals were slipping through his fingers. It wasn't because he lacked skill or intelligence. It was because he couldn't shake this hidden dependency. Every time he tried to focus, his energy felt scattered, his confidence felt shaky, and his ambition was muted. That's the reality so many people silently live with. You might not notice the effects day to day, but over time, it compounds. The truth is, porn doesn't just affect your body. It rewires your brain, steals your energy, and undermines your mindset. And if your mindset is compromised, your future is compromised. That's why this conversation matters. Because breaking free isn't just about quitting a habit. It's about unlocking the clarity, focus, and confidence you need to create the life you were meant to live. The brain hijack. Our brains are wired for survival. They're designed to seek novelty, reward, and stimulation. That wiring helped our ancestors find food, explore new territory, and reproduce. But in today's world, that same wiring can be hijacked. And porn does exactly that. With just one click, you get an endless supply of novelty, reward, and stimulation, all in ways your brain was never designed to handle. Here's the simple truth. Your brain runs on a chemical called dopamine. Think of dopamine as the fuel of your motivation. In healthy doses, dopamine pushes you to set goals, chase dreams, and enjoy real-life experiences. It's what makes finishing a workout feel satisfying, or achieving a small win at work feel rewarding. But porn? Porn doesn't give you a normal dose of dopamine. It floods your brain again and again. And when you flood your system with that much stimulation, your brain adapts. The more you watch, the more you need just to feel the same spark. Suddenly, real life, Things like reading, studying, working on your goals, or even enjoying a walk feels boring in comparison. Here's a picture to make it clear. Imagine a rubber band. At first, it's tight, stretchy, and strong. But if you pull it too far, too often, it loses its elasticity. It doesn't snap back the way it used to. That's your brain on porn. Your natural sensitivity to real-life rewards gets dulled. What used to light you up no longer excites you. And I want you to hear this part carefully. If you've ever felt like your motivation has disappeared, it's not because you're lazy or weak. It's because your brain chemistry has been hijacked. Your biology is working against you. I'll give you an example. One guy I spoke to used to love playing guitar. It was his escape, his passion. But over time, he noticed he played less and less. Instead, he turned to porn whenever he felt bored or stressed. At first, he didn't notice the connection. But months later, he realized he hadn't touched his guitar in weeks. The things that once brought him joy felt flat. Why? Because porn had become the shortcut to instant pleasure, and everything else required too much effort. This is a trap so many fall into. You might still show up to school, to work, or to social events, but inside you feel drained. Your spark fades. And worst of all, you start to believe something is wrong with you, when in reality, it's the hijacking of your brain's reward system. So what's the first step? Awareness. You can't fight an enemy you don't see. Start by simply noticing how your focus, energy, and drive change after consumption. Keep a simple journal. Write down, how do I feel before? How do I feel after? Do I feel focused, motivated, or drained? This one small act of awareness makes the hidden damage visible. Because once you see the pattern, you can begin to break it. And breaking it means taking back control, not just of your habits, but of your energy, your drive, and your future. Confidence and self-image erosion. Confidence isn't something you wake up with one morning. It's not a gift, and it's not luck. Confidence is built brick by brick, through repeated choices, consistent action, and the way you show up for yourself daily. But porn quietly chips away at this foundation, almost without you noticing. Here's how it works. After consumption comes a cycle. First, there's a high, temporary relief, escape, or pleasure. But soon after comes a crash. Shame, guilt, and secrecy. You tell yourself, I'll stop next time, or it's not that bad. Yet deep down, you know you're not proud of the habit. Over time, that guilt turns into self-doubt, and self-doubt erodes self-esteem. Porn also plants unrealistic expectations about relationships and intimacy. When your brain is conditioned to artificial, exaggerated images, real-life connection can feel underwhelming or intimidating. Suddenly, a genuine smile, a simple touch, or a real conversation doesn't seem enough. And when reality doesn't measure up to the artificial fantasy, you start to doubt yourself. Even outside of relationships, you might know this feeling. You close a laptop, the room goes silent, and you're left with your own thoughts. That question creeps in, what am I doing with my life? That quiet moment of self-judgment chips away at your respect for yourself. And when self-respect weakens, confidence goes with it. Let me paint a picture. There was once a student, smart, athletic, full of potential. Everyone saw him as confident, but privately, he struggled with porn use. Over time, he began to avoid eye contact. He grew more self-conscious around his peers. In group conversations, he felt disconnected, as if something invisible was holding him back. His grades slipped, his energy dropped, and even though no one else could see the battle, he knew deep down why his spark had faded. And this isn't just anecdotal. Research has linked porn use to higher levels of anxiety, lower confidence, and greater difficulty forming and maintaining real-world relationships. It's not about willpower. It's about the way your brain and self-image are reshaped over time. But here's the hopeful truth. Confidence can be rebuilt. step by step. You don't have to wait until you've quit completely to feel proud of yourself. You can start restoring confidence through micro wins. Every time you choose to step away, even once, celebrate it. Every time you say, "not today," that's proof you're stronger than yesterday. Confidence isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing yourself that you can choose differently, and those small choices add up. Brick by brick, you rebuild a foundation of self-respect. And from that self-respect, true confidence grows. Not the fake massive confidence, but the deep, steady belief in who you are becoming. So remember this. Your confidence isn't gone. It's just buried under habits that don't serve you. Each small win uncovers it again. And as you uncover more, you'll walk taller, speak clearer, and live with a renewed sense of purpose. The productivity and focus drain. Porn doesn't just steal your evenings. It steals your mornings, your clarity, and your long-term ambition. After a session, your body experiences fatigue, and your brain is left with depleted dopamine. That temporary high doesn't come for free. It's paid for with your future energy. Instead of waking up sharp and ready to work, you wake up sluggish, your mind foggy, and your focus fragmented. Over time, this cycle doesn't just make you lazy. It rewires your ability to stay disciplined. The addiction loop, urge, release, regret, keeps you stuck in shallow tasks, avoiding deep work. And the very projects that could change your life end up gathering dust while you scroll, click, and consume. Imagine sitting at your desk, ready to start a project that excites you. The plan is clear. The tools are in front of you. But as you begin, instead of energy, your mind feels heavy, dull, uninterested. You can't figure out why motivation never sticks. That's not laziness. That's drained dopamine reserves. The very fuel your brain needs for creativity, focus, and drive was already spent on pixels. If you've ever wondered why you can't stay consistent with your goals, it might not be that you're undisciplined. It might not even be that your goals are too ambitious. The truth is simpler and far more frustrating. Something hidden is draining you before you ever start. And porn is one of the most silent drains of all. Consider the story of a young entrepreneur. He dreams of building his own business, quitting his 9-to-5, and creating financial freedom. Every night he tells himself, "Tomorrow I'll get serious." But every evening, he also falls into the trap. Just a quick scroll, just a short video. Hours disappear, and by the time he closes a tab, he's exhausted. The next morning, instead of feeling driven, he snoozes the alarm. When he finally sits down to work, he procrastinates with social media, YouTube, or aimless tasks. Weeks pass, then months, and the business never leaves the idea stage. He blames procrastination. He blames discipline. But underneath it all, the real thief is porn, siphoning away his focus and ambition one night at a time. Takeaway, action-oriented. You don't need more motivational quotes. You don't need another productivity app. You need to cut the drain. Reclaim your focus by protecting the start of your day. The first 60 minutes are golden. Don't let them be stolen by urges or carried over fatigue. Fill that hour with activities that fuel you instead of drain you. 1. Move your body with a workout. 2. Clear your mind with journaling. 3. Sharpen your skills with learning. When you guard your mornings, you build momentum that carries through your day. And momentum is the antidote to procrastination. Focus isn't about grinding harder. It's about eliminating what weakens you before you even begin. Relationship distortion. Porn doesn't just affect your inner world. It reshapes how you see others. When you consume porn regularly, your brain begins to rewrite what attraction should look like. It starts with unrealistic standards, body types, performances, scenarios, all carefully staged to create a fantasy. Over time, these artificial images bleed into real life. Suddenly, normal human connection feels underwhelming. It doesn't stop there. This conditioning reduces empathy. Instead of seeing a person as someone with thoughts, feelings, and depth, the mind begins to objectify. Conversations feel shallow. Emotions feel inconvenient. Real people can't compete with scripted pixels. And when it comes to relationships, the distortion is even sharper. Porn creates performance anxiety because you subconsciously compare yourself or your partner to what you've seen. Instead of being present, you're detached, watching yourself from the outside, wondering if you measure up. Intimacy becomes performance, not a connection. If you notice feeling awkward around people you're attracted to, or if you've caught yourself comparing a real partner to unrealistic images, that doesn't mean you're broken. It's not your heart failing. It's your conditioning at work. The brain adapts to whatever it consumes repeatedly. The good news? Just as conditioning can distort connection, it can also be rewired to heal it. Take the story of a man who struggled for years in relationships. Every time he met someone he liked, he froze up, unsure how to act. On the rare occasions he did enter a relationship, he felt detached, never fully present, never satisfied. He didn't realize that porn had quietly reshaped his expectations. It wasn't until he quit that he began to feel the difference. At first, it was uncomfortable, awkward silences, nervous conversations, even moments of self-doubt. But slowly, something shifted. He started to notice details he'd overlooked. The way someone laughed at his jokes, the way their eyes lit up when they shared a story, the warmth of a real smile. Over time, genuine connection became possible again. Not because he became perfect, but because he allowed reality to replace fantasy. This isn't just personal experience. It's backed by science. Multiple studies have found links between porn consumption and lower satisfaction in relationships. Partners of heavy consumers often report feeling less desired and less connected. Other research shows a strong correlation between regular porn use and higher levels of loneliness. The illusion of connection on a screen erodes the ability to form deep, fulfilling bonds in real life. Takeaway: the next time you meet someone, remind yourself, real connection isn't polished or scripted. It's messy, awkward, beautiful, and imperfect. And that's exactly where true intimacy lives. If you want to heal your relationships, whether future or current, it begins by letting go of the distorted lens. Replace it with presence, empathy, and patience. Every time you choose reality over fantasy, you're not just quitting a habit. You're rebuilding the way you see people and the way you allow them to see you, breaking the cycle. So, how do you break free from something that feels wired into your brain? At times, the pull of porn can feel so automatic that it seems impossible to resist. But the truth is, your brain is not a fixed machine. It can be rewired, reshaped, and restored. Freedom doesn't come overnight, but it does come through consistent steps that retrain your mind and reclaim your focus. Step 1. Awareness and honesty. The first step is awareness. You can't change what you won't confront. That means being brutally honest with yourself about when and why you turn to porn. Is it boredom? Stress? Loneliness? Late night scrolling? One of the most powerful tools here is journaling. Each time you feel the urge, write it down. What time it happened, what you were doing, how you were feeling. Over a week or two, patterns will emerge. Maybe it's always late at night. Maybe it's after a stressful workday. Awareness transforms a problem from a vague bad habit into something you can observe and manage. Step 2. Replace, don't just remove. Nature hates a vacuum. If you try to quit porn by simply removing it, the empty space will demand to be filled. And usually, the old habit creeps back in. The key is replacement. Redirect the same energy into activities that both stimulate your brain and build you up. Exercise is powerful because it floods your body with dopamine naturally. Learning a new skill, reading, or creative work can rewire your brain toward growth. Even something simple, like taking a walk or calling a friend, breaks the loop. Think of it this way. Every time you choose a healthy replacement, you're teaching your brain a new association. Instead of stress, porn, it becomes stress, workout, or boredom, learning. Step 3. Micro habits and systems. Quitting porn isn't about superhuman willpower. It's about building systems that make the right choice the easy choice. Micro habits and small safeguards are game changers. Try cold showers when urges hit. The physical reset interrupts the craving. Use phone restrictions or website blockers to create friction between you and temptation. Find an accountability partner, someone you can check in with when things get tough. These small systems matter. Imagine if you had to drive across town, log into 3 passwords, and wait 10 minutes before you could access porn. It would instantly lose its grip. The goal isn't to rely on raw discipline, but to design your environment so that the path of least resistance leads toward growth. Step 4. Celebrate progress. Here's something most people miss. Progress deserves celebration. Don't wait until you've gone a year clean to feel proud. Every day you resist, every urge you redirect is a victory. Confidence grows through these micro wins. At first, it might be 1 day clean, then 3, then a week. Each milestone strengthens your self-belief and rewires your identity. You're no longer someone stuck in the cycle. You're someone actively breaking free. Take the story of a young man who once relied on porn daily. He felt trapped, ashamed, unmotivated, and constantly distracted. But he decided to try something different. He began journaling his triggers, replacing late-night scrolling with 10 minutes of reading, and taking cold showers when the urge hit. The first few days were hard. The first week felt impossible. But after 30 days clean, something shifted. His mind felt sharper, his mornings more energized, his goals clearer. Friends noticed he seemed more confident, more present. What once felt like an unbreakable chain slowly turned into proof that change was possible. Make no mistake, the journey won't be easy. Urges will come back, sometimes stronger than before. But here's the difference. Every time you resist, you're not just saying no. You're strengthening the part of your mind that wants a better life. You're proving to yourself that freedom is possible. And when setbacks happen, don't see them as failure. See them as feedback. Each slip teaches you something new about your triggers, your environment, or your mindset. That knowledge makes you stronger for the next round. Takeaway. Your action today is simple. Identify one trigger and replace it with one new habit. That single swap can start a chain reaction of freedom. Because the truth is, you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to settle for a life of secrecy, shame, or wasted energy. Every step you take is proof that your future can be brighter than your past. And the journey to breaking the cycle starts right now with your next choice. If this is connecting with you, pause for just a second. Hit that like button so YouTube knows to bring you more content that fuels your mindset and keeps you on track. And if you're serious about breaking free from distractions and building the strongest version of yourself, subscribe right now, because every week we're diving deeper into focus, discipline, energy, and the hidden habits that either hold you back or push you forward. Think of this channel as your accountability partner, reminding you that you're not alone, that growth is possible, and that your best self is still waiting for you. So, take 2 seconds, hit like, hit subscribe, and let's keep building this journey together. The next video might just be the shift you've been waiting for. The payoff, life beyond porn. Picture this. You wake up in the morning with energy rushing through your body, not groggy, not weighed down, but clear, alert, and alive. You grab your journal, map out your goals, and actually feel excitement to chase them. Later, When you walk into a room, you carry yourself with a quiet confidence that draws people in. Conversations feel natural, eye contact is easy, and you no longer feel like you're hiding a secret. At the end of the day, you look in the mirror, not with shame, but with pride, because you know you become the person you were always meant to be. That's not fantasy. That's the life beyond porn, the tangible rewards. 1. Increased energy. When your brain isn't constantly drained by artificial stimulation, your energy rebounds. Suddenly, you have the strength for workouts, projects, or even just enjoying the small moments of life. 2. Restore motivation. Dopamine resets itself. What used to feel dull becomes exciting again, whether it's reading, learning, working on your side hustle, or building your career. 3. Healthier relationships. With no distorted filter in the way, you start connecting to people authentically. Attraction becomes real, messy, beautiful, built on presence, not performance. 4. Stronger self-image. Each day you choose discipline over distraction. You're telling yourself, I can be trusted. I am in control. That self-trust builds unshakable confidence. And listen, I get it. Maybe right now you feel far from that vision. Maybe you've tried before and slipped back. Maybe part of you doubts it's even possible. That's normal. But here's the truth. You deserve this life. You deserve clarity, purpose, and strength. Breaking free isn't about punishment. It's about reclaiming what's already yours. Your energy, your ambition, your relationships, your self-respect. Porn has taken enough from you. It doesn't get to take your future too. Takeaway. Every time you say no to porn, you're saying yes to your future. Yes to the energy you'll need to chase your dreams. Yes to the relationships you'll build with honesty and depth. Yes to the confidence that comes from living aligned with your values. So when the urge hits, don't just think about what you're resisting. Think about what you're stepping into. A life that's brighter, stronger, and fully yours. Because the payoff isn't just quitting porn. The payoff is rediscovering who you are when nothing is holding you back. We've covered a lot in this journey. We started by uncovering how porn hijacks your brain's reward system, flooding it with dopamine until real life feels dull in comparison. Then we saw how confidence erodes, how shame and secrecy slowly chip away at self-image. We looked at the hidden drain on productivity, how energy and focus get stolen from your mornings and your goals. We exposed the distortion it brings into relationships, making real connection harder and leaving you feeling detached. But we didn't stop there. We broke down the path to freedom, awareness, replacement habits, microsystems that support growth, and celebrating progress at every step. Finally, we cast a vision of the payoff, life beyond porn, a life of energy, confidence, clarity, and authentic relationships. Here's the truth. It won't happen overnight. No one rewires their brain or reshapes their life in a single day. But every journey begins with one step. And your first step could be today. Yes, there will be challenges. Urges will return. There will be moments you stumble. But each time you resist, each time you replace the habit with something healthier, you grow stronger. You are not weak for struggling. You are human, and you are more powerful than you think. Imagine looking back a year from now, realizing that this was a turning point, the moment you decided enough was enough. That's not just possible. It's waiting for you. So here's your challenge. Don't just leave inspired. Act. Right now, grab a piece of paper or open your notes app. Write down one trigger you know leads you toward porn, and next to it, write the habit you'll replace it with. That single decision could be the start of your freedom. And if this spoke to you, if you're ready to join a community of people who are rising above distractions, who are choosing clarity, confidence, and strength, hit that subscribe button now. Not just to support the channel, but to support yourself. To remind yourself that you're committed to growth, that you're walking this journey, and that you're not walking it alone. Your strongest, clearest, most powerful self is waiting. And this is just the beginning.